It is Spooktober, and I'm focusing on magic in Game of Thrones, the world of ice and fire to celebrate. This video, let's talk about alchemy.
Any man who calls a poison a woman's weapon is a traitor to his fellow men. A dagger, arrow, axe, these are the arms of passion. But poison is cold, calculating. Poison is the thought that wakes you in the morning and lulls you to sleep at night.
Alchemy in the world of ice and fire is the creation of substances and materials with magical powers. Or so they claim. Alchemy can create living creatures with flame and transmute metals. Wildfire is one of the most dangerous creations of theirs, and they call it the substance. There are two main alchemist groups, the Alchemists of Lis and the Alchemist Guild in Westeros. The Alchemists of Lis are the ones that create the Tears of Lis. If you don't remember what the Tears of Lis are, it's a rare and expensive poison that is odorless, tasteless, and leaves no trace behind, so no evidence of your naughty deeds. When someone is poisoned, it eats away at the bowels and stomach of the victim, and it's almost impossible to cure if it isn't purged fast enough. The Tears of Lis is most likely the poison that was used to kill Jon Arryn. The Alchemist Guild of Lis is also really good at creating other horrible, lethal substances to make sure people have a really bad time. The crystal form of the poison, the Strangler, is also made here, though of course the Faceless Men of Braavos and the Maesters of the Citadel can produce it, though the Maesters at the Citadel try to be more hush-hush about it. Making this poison is incredibly hard though, given the process of preparing it, but it also costs a lot in materials. This rare poison has the appearance of a dark purple crystal and results in the victim's throat closing, forcing them to die from asphyxiation. The Strangler is what was used to kill Joffrey Baratheon.
Good. Needs washing down.
If it please your grace, Lady Sansa is very tired.
No, you'll wait here.
Your grace.
Now, the second main alchemist group is an old order of pyromancers that belong to the Alchemist Guild or Guild of Alchemists that's located in the Seven Kingdoms. These pyromancers have a ton of secret knowledge, though they have been largely replaced by maesters in the most recent centuries. Now, the Alchemist Guild sits in the Guild Hall of the Alchemists in Westeros and was created during or before the Age of Heroes. It is located along the Street of the Sisters in King's Landing at the foot of Visenya's Hill, apt as Visenya loved her alchemy and poisons. There are many apprentices and acolytes, and a full member of this guild is called a wisdom. There are pyromancers in other locations that may or may not be part of this guild, such as in Asshai, the party city for weirdos and dark magics, but it's not crystal clear. The guild is made of black marble and has a ton of twists and turns to get lost in. The Gallery of the Iron Torches is a long chamber with black polished marble floor and walls with black metal columns surrounded by wildfire to greet guests. The floors and walls reflect the wildfire and give the hall an emerald green glow. However, only important guests get the iron torches lit. Beneath the guild hall are stone cells where they create wildfire. Because wildfire is so dangerous, each cell has a room filled with sand that can drop down to extinguish the flames and protect the rest of the building. As well, the floor below has protective magical enchantments to keep the area safe. Also, if any fire occurs in the cells, both floors drop down. So they have many layers of protection. That's how serious wildfire is. Now, as soon as the jars of wildfire are prepared by a trained acolyte, it is immediately taken by an apprentice to the vaults. And wildfire itself is a crazy substance to make. Before dragons were extinct and before Dany brought them back, magics were very, very effective in creating the substance. But between dragons dying out and then coming back, alchemists have had to kind of wiggle around with the recipe for a bit, and magics aren't as effective. Wildfire is crazy unstable, easily becoming out of control once the murky green liquid takes fire, and older batches need only a little bit of sunlight to go off, forcing alchemists to transfer older batches only at night. Wildfire also burns for a ridiculously long time. Even the thinnest layers take over an hour to extinguish. Its dark emerald and jade green flames can burn on water and will consume anything and everything. Steel, leather, wood, cloth, it doesn't matter. Now, this hasn't stopped people from using the substance, though. Wildfire and alchemists have been utilized by various kings. King Aegon IV, the Unworthy, employed the Guild of Alchemists to build him dragons to take Dorne. Not actual dragons, but wood dragons that spewed out wildfire. Now, this was despite his son and heir being married to a Dornish princess. King Aegon IV was just a real piece of work. The alchemists made him massive structures that spat out jets of wildfire. However, the engines blew up in the Kingswood, taking out a quarter of the woods and all of the devices, thus ending that Dornish war super early. Pyromancers have been used by the Targaryen kings besides to wage war on a region, though. During the Great Spring Sickness, Bloodraven had the alchemists use fire to burn the corpses that they had piled in the dragon pit. However, things went south and a quarter of King's Landing burned as a result. However, given how bad the Great Sickness was, that was probably an acceptable trade-off to get rid of the diseased bodies. Pyromancers were part of Aegon V's scheme to bring back dragons by hatching dragon eggs. Pyromancers and wildfire is responsible for the tragedy of Summerhall, which saw the burning down of the Targaryen Summer Palace and the death of their king and a bunch of Targaryens because Aegon V so desperately wanted a dragon to hatch. In the winter of 282 AC, 𝐴RYS II, the Mad King, had the Alchemist Guild burn green fires along the Red Keep's walls for a month to stave away the winter, and late into his reign, he just loved to watch people burn alive with his alchemist buddies that he gave a lot of power to. As we know, during Robert's Rebellion, 𝐴RYS II had the Pyromancers create a large amount of wildfire to destroy King's Landing if Aerys lost the war. He even made one of the wisdoms of the Alchemy Guild his Hand of the King. When Jaime Lannister ultimately ended up killing 𝐴RYS II, he made sure to kill the Pyromancer Hand and all the wisdoms that existed. This led to the guild being run by acolytes and apprentices who had little knowledge of the great secrets of the Alchemy Guild in modern Westeros time. And because of this, the Alchemist Guild saw the greatest decrease in power when Robert Baratheon usurped the throne. Which, besides the death of all the more experienced pyromancers, it's not surprising that Robert Baratheon would give them less power, because King 𝐴RYS II was obsessed with alchemy and pyromancers, and he gave them way too much power at court, and Robert wanted to get away from all that. In the books, alchemists find a storage of 200 jars under the Great Sept of Baelor and 300 jars under the Dragon Pit. When Cersei Lannister became Queen Regent, she ordered the alchemists to create a large amount of wildfire to defend King's Landing. We also know one important battle where wildfire was used, of course. Cersei later has the Tower of the Hand burned down by them. So the Alchemist Guild of Westeros and the Alchemist Guild of Lys have become stronger since Daenerys bringing back dragons. So perhaps some of their powers that were lost have come back, such as the ability to transmute material to gold and create other terrifying substances with greater strength. We'll have to see when George R. R. Martin definitely finishes The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring.